For this 65-year-old physician, the biggest fear wasn't the surgery or the scars, it was really losing his identity, looking different or like a different person. This is the most common fear that I hear from patients that are coming for facial rejuvenation procedures. At the end of the day, nobody wants to look different. No one wants to look like they've been operated on. They want to look like the best version of themselves. Scars are part of this. No one wants to have visible scars in the front because that's a sign of surgery that's easily detectable. And when surgery is detectable, it's not good. Of course, we want to decrease the risk of visible incisions in the front, and not putting tension in those areas is how you avoid that. But there's something more important. It's preserving the natural shape of your face so that you don't look like a different person. If you have dimples, we're going to preserve those. If there's some creases in one side that aren't in another, and there's an anatomic mismatch, we actually want to maintain that asymmetry because symmetry actually doesn't look natural. And if people are used to seeing a beauty mark on one side, if we remove it, they're going to say, what the heck happened? They're going to know that surgery was performed. So we're going to maintain the natural look to your face by following the anatomy on the inside. It sounds simple, but it's not. We have to, during the dissection, map out each of the important ligaments that controls or connects the midface. We also have to be thoughtful about doing that in the brow and in the lower face and neck. In the deep neck itself, making sure that we recreate a powerful transformation, but that we don't shift too much because we want to maintain the natural anatomic shape of the inside. Form and function are related. If we preserve the form, we're going to preserve the natural function of the face. I've seen dozens of patients who've come to me after surgery elsewhere who look really good as a before and after on a website or as a static photo. But when you look at them and they talk, you see that when they smile, there's a block or there's some inhibition of the movement of their face. Things don't look right in motion. That's because they've overshortened the arc of movement of the muscle, the zygomatic muscle, so that when they go to smile, there's some blockage in the edge of the smile. And this can happen in smash style lifts or lifts where there's plication or over tightening. So if we're thoughtful and we follow that internal roadmap, we don't have to worry about creating a tight, windswept or pulled look. It's almost impossible to do that. That's a concept that all patients want. They want to look like a better version of themselves, not like somebody different. Giving somebody their old face back depends on using structural support, not just pulling or tightening skin. So when people talk about a facelift or facial rejuvenation, they may say something like, I want you to do this and really pull it tight. And the reality is, no, you don't want tight skin. You want to reposition the deeper processes, reposition the deeper anatomy and deeper structures, but you don't actually want to make it look like there's tension across any skin. In fact, when I'm closing, I can show you photos in the operating room where we have the skin laid down, and then you can see I lift it up and put it back down, and it's edge to edge. There's zero tension on the skin closure because tension is what creates a thick, upraised, or wide scar. Tension is what creates a windswept look to the skin. There's no tension, there's less visible signs of surgery afterwards. Anatomic repositioning of the deep plane and the muscles and the muscular aponeurotic system of the face is why over time it ages well. If the whole system moves together, then over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, it's gonna drop together. It's not gonna move out of context or out of place. That's why when I do a full facial rejuvenation, I target all three areas, temple, mid-face, and neck, because the three have to move together so that as you age, they drop together. If you just target the lower face and neck, as it continues to age, the brow will already be low and it will continue to age more accelerated. And things will be out of concept where you have an upper part of your face that looks older, middle and lower face that looks different or ages differently. It's important to reposition things together so that they age in a consistent and natural way.